What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, comic books, video games, TV shows. And yeah, let's talk about Expedition X Season 7, Episode 4. They're continuing the second part of the two-part episode, looking for the ghost on Mackinac Island. And again, on this episode, they brought in the Ghost Brothers as support. Now, I've seen Ghost Adventures, I've seen some of those ghost shows, and honestly, I'm not into them. It just seems like a lot of running around in the dark, asking questions, getting the spirit boxes and the what is it, the voice boxes, or I don't remember what they're called, but trying to get ghosts to communicate through technology that may or may not be questionable technology. I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently on it. But I do know that the ghost shows, while I've seen them, they aren't really my cup of tea. I prefer things like Expedition Unknown, where they're hunting for known historical artifacts, or some things like Expedition Bigfoot and a lot of what we get here on Expedition X, looking for cryptids in a scientific way. The paranormal, while I find interesting, I also find it can get boring. And that's what happened in this episode. I just kind of got bored of it. There was some interesting evidence. The door opening, I think, was an interesting one. Saying the name of one of the ghost brothers, I think, was an interesting piece of evidence. But it was an hour episode that very much felt like a Ghost Adventures episode rather than an episode of Expedition X. And I realize that there's a lot of similarities between the two shows, but I also draw a distinction. And that distinction, I think, comes from the fact that they are looking, most of the time, they're looking for some sort of cryptid or something that can be quantified or measured in a physical sense. And that's not necessarily the case with paranormal activity. Another factor is that I'm so into Expedition X and Expedition Unknown simply because of the host. Josh Gates, Phil, Jess, I really like those hosts. So I feel like they put the Ghost Brothers front and center here, which they should have. They were guests on the show. They should have been front and center. But I'm just not into these type of shows the way that I'm into other similar shows. But like I said, I do draw a distinction between the two. So this has not been my favorite episode of Expedition X. This whole two-part episode, while there was some interesting stuff in it, these are two episodes that I probably won't revisit too often because I just want to see more. I want to see hunts and searches and things like that could yield some more tangible evidence rather than some things that kind of have a subjective sense to the evidence. What could it have been other than ghost activity? So yeah, it was Expedition X. I enjoyed it, but it just was definitely one of my least favorite episodes. So that's just my take on it, though. Some people are really into paranormal TV, and you probably love this episode. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. While you're down there commenting, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.